So, hi everybody, this is Virginia Spielman from Star Institute for Sensory Processing, and I'm delighted to be talking today to one of my favorite speech and language pathologists, Jennifer Rowe. Jennifer's from Georgia, where she works mostly in schools and is a specialist in augmentative and alternative communication. And we've had a few questions the last week about how am I going to support my non-speaking child in this time when we're at home for really long periods and we're out of routine. And so I gave Jennifer a call and she graciously replied. So Jennifer, I wonder if you have like 2 top tips for these families asking this question.
Yes, and those are absolutely some phenomenal questions, because this is kind of a time of uncertainty for all of our families and actually for all of our service providers. How are we going to help our families, for these prolonged periods? Bottom line, really, for a lot of our families who have nonverbal children, or actually who have just a few words, are just starting to communicate, I'm going to share some tips with you. But first and foremost, the first tip is for all of you guys to just have fun with your children. Having fun actually kind of is the basis for communication. If you think about it, communication really is the process of sharing our ideas and our thoughts. And if you're not having fun, or if you're engaged in something that you aren't necessarily enjoying, there's really no reason to communicate. So bottom line, just be what you usually are as a parent, support your child, and have a ton of fun. And when you're having fun, next tip, respond, respond, respond. And so some of you guys might think, what does that look like? How do I respond when a child, or when my child, isn't really interested? Well, the goal really, again, is finding those activities that are most motivating and interesting to your child as a whole. What you need to watch for when you're responding, in order to respond to your child, is those nonverbal pieces of communication, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to look at, is your child looking at the activity that you're holding or the object that you're holding? Is your child leaning forward? Is your child looking at you? If you see any of those items and you have an inkling in your head what your child is trying to communicate to you, you respond to it right away. The priority goal for a child at the before words level, children who are nonverbal, who are just developing some initial words, is really to have them feel as if they're a competent communicator. And that could be through nonverbal means, or even some very early means like using pictures, or even looking at pictures that you're holding. So make sure you respond.
So that's a bit of a challenge, isn't it, to our sort of idea that communication, as we get older, we think communication means kids speaking sentences.
That is correct. It's correct. It's almost kind of it's almost kind of like you have to take it back a notch almost, and really just kind of be in tune with your child.
Right.
So, and if you think about it, again, if you're remembering that communication is the act of sharing your thoughts, sharing your feelings, that's really the basis for communication. Brilliant. So yes, fantastic, right there. So overall goal, when you're having fun, really, you'll know you're having fun when the child is having fun, but when you as the parent are having fun as well, right? So essentially, you really want to get your child enjoying that interaction, and you want your child wanting more of it. If they want more of it, then there's a reason to communicate, right? And again, it's looking at things, right? If you see them looking at a train, you say train, let's make it go, right? So, yes. So, and then for kids who are nonverbal, what kind of activities? My kid doesn't even like books, right? I don't, my child she doesn't even like to play board games. She doesn't like to, play dolls. What are some of those activities that you find your child enjoying doing, right? And Virginia, I know that OTs and PTs often have like tons of things that they do, for a lot of our kids at the before words level, or emerging language level, a lot of our kids really enjoy those sensory play and experiential activities as well as motor activities.
Right, and really what we're trying to encourage people to remember is that sensory play doesn't just mean messy play. It means motor, it means whole body, it means jumping and crashing and just having fun rolling and dancing and spinning and all of those really, really rewarding physical play activities. And that's going to feed right into what you're saying about that communication of fun and wanting more.
Yes, most definitely. So again, just like Virginia said, that sensory play, those motor activities, that can be what's absolutely fun and most motivating for those kids who are really, really early communicators. So for instance, it doesn't have to be messy play, but if you've got a ball that you're rolling around, and I've got a ball here. So if you've got a ball rolling around, you roll the ball, right? You see the child looking at the ball, you say, ball, and then you roll it to them, right? So that, just acknowledging what they've communicated non-verbally is actually you teaching them communication, right? Again, within the context of fun, within the context of you enjoying that interaction with your child. So, so the second tip, actually, and this is kind of taking it a little bit further beyond, if you truly want to work on conventional forms of communication and really want to target some certain words, for kids who are already showing some of that joint attention and joint engagement, you can think of potentially a few words that you can target, but keep it simple, as you're trying this out. One goal that I would say is focus on one word. So you've got this ball, right? If you're not sure that the child knows what the word ball means, they look at the ball, you say ball, and then you throw it, right? So then you're both enjoying running after the ball, and then you're both tossing it or engaging in some sort of joint play. One thing that I do want you to remember as families, nouns like ball or puppet or baby or bottle or spoon, they can only get you so far with language and communication. So if you're fairly certain that your child knows these nouns or these objects, the word ball, do not forget about those core vocabulary words. And if you haven't heard the term core vocabulary in the field of AAC, core vocabulary are essentially those words that we use frequently throughout the day. And then they can generally be used in any activity possible. So in this activity, if you feel your child already knows what the term ball is, take it up a notch and then focus on the word go, right? So if you want if your child looks at the ball and you think that, oh, they want me to throw that ball, they've got to tell me go. Child looks at the ball and they say, oh, go, and then you throw the ball, right? You could either do it verbal or you can use it with pictures, right? And what I would really suggest is if you've got school age children, or if you've got private therapists who have sent home pictures with your child, use those pictures that they've sent. I'll show you an example. In our, where I work, a lot of the times we use this picture for the word go. See that? So this is a green light, right? And so again, the focus for those early communicators is not really having them touch the word go or say the word go. You're wanting to give them meaning. So as you're throwing the ball periodically, you might say, you're showing them the ball, they look at the ball, then you say, go, and then you throw the ball, right? Pair the word with the meaning. The child doesn't have to do anything because they've already communicated to you, go, by looking at the ball. No. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Focus only on one word. So
we're not demanding some sort of a specific response, but we're giving meaning to the communication that they're already producing, and we're remembering not to just name items around the house, but also actions that are meaningful and embedded in that kind of relationship piece of the moment of play with the parent.
That's absolutely correct.
Brilliant.
Actually, absolutely correct. And then as the child realizes, if you even want to take it up a notch, as a child realizes that this means go, after you've been responding, say, they look at the ball, and then you can say, and if they look at the picture, go. Because now instead of
Woohoo!
looking at the ball, they're
Yeah,
looking at the picture, right?
great.
So continue, again, focus on them just getting to understand that there are other ways that you can communicate just by the object.
Brilliant.
So,
Thank you
so
so much. That was such a rich series of tips, and we'll be turning it into a blog post to accompany the video and sharing it as far and wide as we can, Jennifer, because this is great. This is golden stuff. So thank you very, very much for your time today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Virginia, and have fun, everybody.
Always remember to have fun.
All right. Thanks. Bye.